Hey everyone, Alan Bauer here in Bay City, Michigan again. And today I want to talk about resistance to change. Uh, we all have this resistance to change. We don't want to see anything change. We get very comfortable in our life. And the only time we really want change is when things are so uncomfortable we finally have to make a move on it. Like take for example, last night we had our elections for mayor, city council, a couple of spots were up for city council, and then we were voting on a new charter. So the candidate I wanted for mayor did not win. Um, and the one of the candidates for city council that was up on a contended race, he did win. And then the charter, I didn't want the new charter to pass. There was a lot of things I didn't care for it in it, a lot of things I thought should have been in there, but that passed also. So, that's the beauty of a democracy. And I can be disappointed in the loss. I can be excited when things go my way, but things don't always happen that way. They never will in life. It doesn't happen that way in politics. And you know, this was just an off election, but like the presidential election, a lot of people they think their whole life is going to be ruined or extremely great on who gets president. But the reality of it is it really has very little impact on your personal life. And some of you may disagree with me on that. Sure, there's going to be changes. There'll be political changes. The country will take political changes. But regardless of who wins, who won the last election or who wins this next one coming up in 2020 for president, it really doesn't make as much difference as we think it does. We think like, oh, my guy won. It's like, hey, we're going to have this wonderful new world and I'm going to get all this money coming in because everything's going to be, great the way that I want it and everything's just going to flow into my world. You still have to go out and work for it. It still comes from within. Just like if the other candidate wins. Sure, it may affect some things in your life, but really, it's still up to you. Even though there may be some changes that kind of put a little bit more hurdles or something like that, it doesn't mean you can't overcome that. In fact, this is a lot of times when things don't go your way is when you really start to change. You're like, okay, and look at the different areas. Like you can be in one area, maybe it's like an extremely liberal area and that's your area, or if you're conservative, you may just hate that area, or the other way around. What if you're, in a really conservative area and you're a conservative, you're like, hey man, this is great. My kind of people, we all kind of think the same. But if you're a liberal that moves in there, you may have a difficult time with that. It doesn't mean people can't coexist in those areas, but you just have to accept there's different mindsets. And what happens when this is why people move eventually. Some of them just stay there and complain or whatever, and they never do anything about it. So you have a choice. We always have choices in life. And that's all I really have today. I just wanted to do a quick video on change and resistance, and whatever happens externally, it all comes down to within. So that's all I got for today. Let me know what you think about it.